When Luo Feng was engaged in exchanging with the old bearded man, the ninth prince of the Black Dragon Mountain Brolin was in another ancient room. Within the dark ancient room, Brolin stood there smiling as he shouted, "I'd like to exchange for treasures." "Little punk, what's the rush?" A serious voice resounded within the ancient room. "One at a time, after this other punk is finished, I'll exchange with you." Brolin's eyes gleamed coldly. "One at a time? The person who entered before wasn't just putting on an act and is really exchanging for treasures." A thought appeared in Brolin's mind, following which he smiled coldly, closing his eyes and entering the Virtual Universe Network. Virtual Universe Network, Black Dragon Mountain Island. It was a huge city. In it were many palaces that were continuous, amongst which there was an inconspicuous purple palace. 2 guards stood outside this palace. Within the palace, a handsome pale-skinned man appeared on the throne. It was the 9th Prince Brolin. Dressed in mostly black, with gold embroidery around the robe, Brolin sat on the throne, immediately requesting for communication with his 9 bodyguards. His 9 bodyguards were all his slaves who were completely loyal to him. Of course there was one that died when the castle opened. Luckily the Thunder Castle's thunder didn't destroy the space ring, hence the laser gun within that bodyguard's space ring wasn't damaged. A silhouette appeared within the large palace, dressed in a black guard uniform, with greenish flame-like hair that was spiked up. "Your Majesty." The guard respectfully knelt down. Camelot. Brolin glanced down at his guard from high above, ordering, "There was a punk who entered the Thunder Castle just before I did, one dressed in gold armor with a helmet. He has many Thunderstones, and is currently exchanging for treasure with the Thunder Castle's living AI right now." "What?" The guard was shocked. There would occasionally be people entering the Thunder Castle, many of which were simply decoys, with very few actually exchanging for treasures. "I'm very sure he is really exchanging for treasures," Brolin said coldly, "hence I want you to keep an eye on him. Do you understand what I mean?" "Understood," the guard said respectfully. "Very well." Brolin nodded satisfied, following which his body vanished into nothing from the throne. World within world. The white-bearded old man walked into Brolin's ancient room. Brolin revealed a smile. "Little punk, what do you want to exchange for?" The white-bearded old man looked at him. "The inheritance crystal ball's first account passcode." Brolin looked at the white-bearded old man, and 1 life fruit. The white-bearded old man couldn't help but reveal a shocked expression. When Brolin was exchanging, Luo Feng had just walked out of the Thunder Castle's huge entrance doors. The moment he stepped out, separately in the distance, with up to 200,000 of the Allied army surrounding the Thunder Castle, there were at least about 10,000 people watching him, carefully observing his actions. Luo Feng, however, was steady. There were people constantly entering the Thunder Castle with many as decoys. He guessed that not many would have known that he had truly exchanged for treasures. "That's him, the one that entered before His Majesty. Watch him well." From the 10,000 that were looking at Luo Feng, there were a few with ulterior motives, communicating via genetic energy. Luo Feng mixed into the crowds of the Allied army. After wandering within for a while, finally he met up with Hong, Thunder God, Tai Nan He and Ao Gu. Ao Gu naturally spread a spirit barrier around them, preventing anyone from hearing or eavesdropping. "How'd it go?" Hong and Thunder God looked at Luo Feng. "Everything went well, according to plan." Luo Feng smiled. 1 life fruit, 2 level 5 weapons. Thunder God was elated. "That's great, 1 life fruit will let your cloud contact vine evolve greatly. That way, our little team in this world within a world won't be as tragic as before, having to flee the moment we meet any big teams. Investment first, only then will there be rewards." Hong smiled. "Third brother, you have to remember what you said. When we get another batch of Thunderstones, you have to get another life fruit for my cloud contact vine too." "Definitely." Luo Feng smiled. "TSK." Thunder God rubbed his nose, glancing at Hong. "Don't expect too much. The life fruit is a good thing. If third brother exchanged for it, others might too. And there are only a total of 3 of them. By the time we get another batch of Thunderstones, who knows if there would be any left." Hong didn't bother about Thunder God's banter. This whole exchanging plan, after Luo Feng had discussed with Hong and Thunder God, they were in complete approval. That was because they didn't know before that the life fruit would be able to make the cloud contact vine evolve greatly. Even Hong said, when they got a chance later, he would also like his cloud contact vine to evolve. However, Hong's cloud contact vine was firstly much lower in grade compared to Luo Feng's. Luo Feng's cloud contact vine was currently a star level 4. while Hong's vine had just stepped into the star level 1. Hence, with the life fruit's incomparably huge amount of pure life energy, Luo Feng's vine had a larger guarantee of being able to withstand and absorb it. Actually, from the weapons we exchanged this time, we would be able to do many things already. Thunder God was all smiles. Right, Hong nodded. With sufficient wealth, we can do a lot of things. Luo Feng was excited too. The Ice Soul Blade and the Pressure Space Cauldron. These were level 5 genetic energy and spirit weapons. These were weapons that only Sector Lords could truly utilize. And for Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God, who were only star level, to them, these two weapons were no use at all. If Luo Feng used a level 5 weapon, its power would probably not even compare to using the soaring shuttle. The best weapon was one that was suitable. Hence, these two weapons were only to be exchanged to sell. These were level 5 weapons. In the world within a world, selling them would be a huge loss, but outside, they were worth fortunes. These two level 5 weapons represented incomparable amounts of wealth. I have to think, what do I do with so much money later? Thunder God muttered. First, we have to get rid of the Nuolan Shan family. Hong said seriously, as long as they are around, we will never have peace. Everybody else is easy to deal with, this Nuolan Shan however is hard. Luo Feng shook his head. Buying universe level slaves, one can at most buy a level 9. This is the highest level of slaves, and that Nuolan Shan, he actually has the Battle Axe Fighter title. Normal universe level warriors aren't even his match. No rush, no rush, we'll work around it with money. Thunder God smiled. Everybody first take a rest. Luo Feng said seriously, we'll wait till nightfall and leave the allied army. For the Cloud Contact Vine to evolve, it first had to unleash its full size and structure for it to be able to easily absorb the most life energy. And with its large form, and the evolution noise itself, there was no way for it happen in this central region. Okay, we'll leave at nightfall. Luo Feng and his team of 5 were very normal within the allied army. However, there were people secretly watching them. The allied army had close to 200,000 people. With the characteristics of a star-level explorer, it was impossible to squeeze them together as with the soldiers of Earth. The moment a star level speeds up and accelerates, one would disappear a few kilometers away in the blink of an eye. And this was still only because of the world within a world. Hence, the space between the groups was much larger. Luo Feng's team was closely gathered, the rest were casually grouped around. And some bigger teams, their distance between each other was 1 to 2 kilometers. If they were too close, it would be harder to manage. This distance. To a star level, they could easily see each other. With a flash they could reach each other. Hence the entire allied army was dispersed over 60 to 70 kilometers. And the powerful 9th Prince Brolin, his army was at the most central region, over 30 kilometers away from Luo Feng's team. This made it impossible for Babata to pick up on Brolin. And Brolin's scanning systems were from the Black Dragon Mountain Sacred Land. Compared to Babata's, they weren't that far off. Nightfall, the strong winds howled. Within a tent, Bu Luo Lin sat crossed-legged and shut his eyes. "You Majesty," Camelot said respectfully, "you haven't lost sight of that 5-man team, right?" Bu Luo Lin's voice was very calm. "No," Camelot said respectfully, "Your Majesty commands up to 20,000 men from the Allied army. With our strategic placement around, almost the entire Allied army camp is under our surveillance. And since the entire army is only dispersed a few tens of kilometers, that 5-man team has no way to escape our sights." "Right," Brolin replied, suddenly opening his eyes, gleaming like sharp knives at Camelot. Camelot slightly bowed. "According to the agreement, there's no killing allowed within the Allied army." Brolin said coldly, "I too don't want to break the rules, just watch them. The moment they leave the Allied army zone, immediately send a small team and kill them. Take all their storage items. Understood?" "Yes, Your Majesty," Camelot said respectfully, "I'll arrange for it immediately." "Okay, go on," Brolin said indifferently. Camelot respectfully left the tent. At this time a man walked in, kneeling on one leg. He said respectfully, "Your Majesty, the 6th big team killed 6 other teams today, up to about 5,000 explorers. They acquired about 2.59 million thunderstones." Following which, he respectfully handed over a space ring. The 6th big team has done well." Brolin couldn't help but reveal a smile. "Tell the other big teams, make them work harder, make use of the time and acquire more thunderstones." "Yes." The man retreated. Within the tent, Brolin held the space ring. weighing it in his hand, revealing an arrogant, confident smile. We almost have 10 million thunderstones. We should be able to exchange for the second passcode. However, since the thunderstones in the different regions are almost dug clean, what remains is to kill and fight for the thunderstones. To someone as high up as the 9th Prince Brolin, even if these 2 million people died, he didn't care at all. Born into royalty, his mother's family had been incomparably strong. He had seen too much of the strong eating the weak in the universe. With an order, tens of planets and their civilians could become slaves. With such power, killing these other teams for thunderstones became a very natural thing for him. As for ordering a team to kill Luo Feng, Brolin didn't really care at all. That little team of 5 were nothing but ants to him. An order from him just results in a few ants being squished. Late night, the winds howled. World within a world, amongst the allied army. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder exchanged glances and revealed smiles. Let's go, Luo Feng said softly. The 5-man team swiftly stood up and seemingly casually moved towards the outer areas of the army. Entering the allied army itself was difficult, requiring identification. Anyone not from any powers or organization was forbidden from entering. Leaving, however, was easy. After all, the large powers constantly sent people in and out to deliver thunderstones. The number of people entering and leaving was indeed not small. Captain, the 5 of them are leaving. Quickly follow. Quickly. All, move faster. The underlings of the 9th Prince had been preparing for when the little team began to move. One had to know that the 9th Prince controlled over 220,000 people. The 7 large teams, each had 30,000 people. And even their small teams were 1,000 per team. As for the surveillance group, that too was a 1,000-man small team that exchanged shifts. Late night, amidst the howling winds, Luo Feng's team flew up and away from the allied army base. And behind them, a 1,000-man team lifted into the skies too and followed them. Everybody, don't be rash and impatient. This is still close to the allied army base. The moment they re-enter the base grounds, we will be unable to do anything. We'll first follow, and once a bit of distance has been made, we'll act. The captain of the 1,000-man team was communicating softly to his team. Ahead in mid-air, Luo Feng's team. Ha ha, thrilling, thrilling. High in the sky, Thunder God's voice resounded as he smiled with satisfaction. I'm already feeling uncontrollably excited just from thinking about the life fruit and the 2 Sector Lord weapons. Before we came here, I was worried too that we'd have problems after exchanging. Hong smiled. Looking at things now, it seems everything went smoothly. First and second brother, after the Cloud Contact Vine's evolution, it'll be even more thrilling. Luo Feng smiled, his heart filled with anticipation. Before, when they were digging for the thunderstones, they were totally relying on Babita's initial scans and discoveries of the stones, hence they got so much. And when the 20 million explorer army arrived in different regions and dug up all the other thunderstones, what followed would be the most brutal and savage massacre period. This point, Luo Feng was definitely sure. Some sector lord underlings were able to exchange for treasures while others were not. Those that didn't would naturally be ordered to kill and rob. In the eyes of those sector lords, even if they lose 10,000 explorers, it didn't mean anything. What's going on? There's a team following us behind. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows and communicated. There really is one. Thunder God creased his eyebrows. They are following us. Are they going to get more thunderstones and just happen to be moving the same way? Hong said. Let's increase our speed and make a turn. Luo Feng communicated. Yes, Master. Tai Nan He and Ao Gu followed his command. When the 5 made an arc in mid-air and increased their speed, becoming 5 beams of light turning left. Among the 1,000-man team behind them. Captain, they are trying to escape. Right now there's about a few 100 kilometers between us and the allied army. Everybody listen, with the quickest speed chase the 5-man team ahead and kill them. The captain ordered. Yes, yes, understood. In the dark night, Star Level 9 explorers dressed in black alloy armors complied to the order, exploding one by one with immense speed into beams of light into the night sky. It was akin to thousands of shooting stars, different speeds madly rushing towards the 5 shooting stars. The shooting stars behind were quickly catching up with the ones in front. They were all Star Level 9 spirit readers on spirit weapons, much faster than Luo Feng's group. Among Luo Feng's group, only the Star Level 9 Ao Gu could compare to them, and he was busy carrying both Hong and Thunder God. Not good. They are catching up. Thunder God's expression changed. Master, quickly flee. Ao Gu's old face was filled with fear. Luo Feng glanced back. The beams of lights were catching up to them with terrifying speeds, almost instantly closing the distance to less than 1 kilometer. What do we do? Thunder God and Hong's expressions were worried. Tai Nan He and Ao Gu, the 2-star level 9 slaves, were worried too. There are 1,000 star level 9 explorers behind. Luo Feng looked down at his arm screen, his heart getting colder. That 1,000 beams of lights were quickly closing in on him. He watched as they were about to be swallowed. Master, Ao Gu and Tai Nan He looked worriedly at Luo Feng, Thunder God and Hong as they rushed hurriedly. Luo Feng was in a mess within. Since entering the world of thunder, world within a world, even though their team had met with danger time and again, they had never been so close to this entirely overwhelming situation before. An entire 1,000-man star level 9 army, if they all attacked together with their weapons, it would be over instantly. Unless, should he use the golden horned beast? However, they were not too far from the Allied army base. The moment it appeared, it would be revealed to everybody. And the moment the existence of a golden horned beast was known, many undying beings would arrive on Kanglan Star, taking away Luo Feng the golden horned beast, making him into a slave. Beast taming, slave soul imprints, etc. Within the vast universe, it wasn't just the Yun Mo master that knew these techniques. When that time came, Luo Feng was destined to become someone's slave. Kill them, the captain ordered. Yes, a few hundred voices resounded from behind. Shoo, 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 shoo. Covering both the land and the skies, it was a blur with large amount of spirit weapons flying about, almost as though rain was pouring down on Luo Feng's group. At that time, Hong, Thunder God, Tai Nan He and Ao Gu were in despair. Come out! Luo Feng stared straight at the large amount of blades. Rumble! A large object appeared before the 5 of them. One could only hear a crash sound. The large object didn't move at all. This was a disc-shaped universe ship that was about 100 meters in diameter, entirely black, C9 grade. A universe level 5 or 6 would find it hard to damage this ship. In the universe, one never knew when they would use a ship. Even though there was a ship at the Kanglan Star docking bay, however, with the money from the first account from his teacher, it was easy for Luo Feng to purchase a few other universe ships. Ship. He actually brought a ship. He must have a storage item that's over 100 meters wide. Quickly, kill them. The hundreds of star level 9 spirit readers, after their first wave of attack had failed, they immediately gathered their energies and immediately circled their weapons, as quick as lightning, going around the universe ship and headed straight for Luo Feng's group. Master, quickly, quickly flee. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God swiftly rushed towards the entrance of the ship. Luckily, when Luo Feng took out the ship, the entrance was faced right at them. However, their flying speed was far lower than the spirit weapons. Luckily, they weren't too far from it. Quickly, quickly, Hong and Thunder God's eyes were flushed red. Rush in. Luo Feng's eyes were also flushed. Ao Gu and Tai Nan He were the last 2 behind. Those hundreds of spirit weapons made a huge arc and gathered, raining down from behind. Blocking the weapons first was the star level 9 fighter Tai Nan He, and behind him was star level 9 spirit reader Ao Gu. Rip, 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 rip. Like a rain of arrows, the spirit weapons cut through Tai Nan He instantly, tearing him like paper. Against hundreds of the same leveled spirit weapons attacking him at once, even a battle axe star level fighter would lose instantly without a doubt. Rumble, rumble, the external entrance door and the gate within closed, shutting out the external world completely. Su. The universe ship violently accelerated, leaving the group of star level 9 explorers far behind, swiftly disappearing without a trace. The blurred silhouettes of the 1,000-man army floating in mid-air all looked as the ship left their sights, helpless. 1,000 people killing 5, and they escaped. The captain, whose face was covered with a beard, raged. How am I to answer to the 9th prince like this? Captain, you can't blame us, who knew he had a universe ship. Right, a universe ship is at least about 100 meters. Amongst the 5 of them, there was one that actually had a storage space that huge. It's unbelievable. Right. The captain nodded. That big a storage space, it is indeed unbelievable. The universe ship was swiftly leaving the center region. Its speed was at least 100 to 1,000 times that of their flying speeds. Within the ship, quickly Ao Gu absorbed the life energy within the Mu Ya crystal. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were anxiously surrounding Ao Gu, the alloy armor on him long gone. His lower body below his chest were in shreds, only above it was okay. The earlier attack of hundreds of spirit weapons earlier. The one right in front of them, Tai Nan, he was instantly shredded to pieces, no piece of him was left. And Algu, who was behind Tai Nan, he relied on the hybrid copper essence and barely protected his head. As for below his chest, it was attacked by weapon after weapon, slicing it into pieces. Hoo-hoo. Threads of life energy seeped into Algu's body. Algu gradually recovered. Bastards. Luo Feng reacted, rage boiling within his chest. Babata, whose people were they? All of the Allied Army's people's appearances and information is recorded. These 1,000 people are underlings of the 9th Prince Brolin. Babata said, back when Luo Feng first entered the Allied Army, when he was resting within, Babata naturally recorded the basic information of everyone within the Allied Army. For example, odors, appearances, strength, etc. Brolin, Luo Feng creased his eyebrows, raging even more within. Why would he try and kill me? I have no grudge with him. It's probably due to the treasures. Babata said. How would he know I exchanged for treasures? There are people frequently going into the Thunder Castle. Luo Feng was feeling incredibly terrible, especially since his 2 bodyguards, Tai Nan, he had died, and Algu also almost died. Man wasn't like plants or trees, he had feelings. Even though they were slaves that he had bought, the voices of them shouting, "Master, quickly flee," still resounded within his mind and ears. When danger and crisis struck, both of them used their lives to protect him. Brolin, Brolin. Luo Feng raged uneasily within. It was painful. Luo Feng, don't dwell on it for now. Even though you didn't use the golden horned beast, you still used a universe ship, it's still big trouble. Babata said, a storage item over 100 meters wide is incredibly valuable. Back when I gave it to you, I told you never to reveal it. This is because these are a special grade of storage items, only a few domain lords have them. And after that battle before, Brolin will definitely keep an eye on you now. Now that he's looking out for you, you'll have trouble. Watching me, I'm watching him, Luo Feng roared. Brolin, Luo Feng clenched his fists, his knuckles pale, cracking sounds coming from them. His eyes filled with killing intent, raging from within. Third brother, are you alright? Hong, who was beside him, asked, shocked. Taking a deep breath, heavily suppressing his rage. No problem. Luo Feng shook his head. No one else knew, but Luo Feng was very clear that after becoming the golden horned beast, he was affected by its characteristics. Back when he massacred in the killing fields, he felt a huge sense of relief. However, since he relieved himself through that madness, the killing intent within his bones only grew stronger. Just like a strong addictive poison, when he couldn't bear it anymore, he would take the poison again and relieve it. However, the addiction would only get stronger. One theory was that Luo Feng was now addicted to killing. And the golden horned beast, as the leading bloodline of the 12 species of space beasts, with its strong offensive characteristics, its cold savageness and brutality, was purely from its bones and soul. No one had ever heard of a kind and gentle golden horned beast. Third brother, Thunder God, also walked over. I'm fine. Luo Feng squatted down beside the heavily injured Algu. His dark red hair was in a mess, his face still pale from the injuries. This made Luo Feng bite down on his lips. Luo Feng looked up at his 2 older brothers. Hong and Thunder God were both old enough to be his grandfathers. Of course, they naturally cared about the youngest, peerlessly talented third brother. First and second brother, relax, I won't let my rage take control. Luo Feng said. Phew, that's good. Thunder God nodded. We cannot forget this grudge, but we have to remain calm. Just like when your big brother and I experienced the Great Nirvana period before, many humans died and cities were destroyed by the attacks of the beasts. However enraged we became, we still had to bear with it. Compared to that, this little grudge really doesn't mean much. When we get the chance, we'll kill him. Thunder God said casually. Hong nodded too. In terms of experience, Hong and Thunder God were indeed much more experienced than Luo Feng. I understand. Luo Feng nodded. Also, those people were sent by the 9th Prince Brolin. Compared to him, we have no resistance at all. Brolin, Hong and Thunder God were both taken aback. Right. Luo Feng nodded. During the time we wandered around the Allied army before, I recorded everybody's data and appearances with the surveillance device. Those are the underlings of Brolin. That's troublesome. Thunder God shook his head. This grudge will be hard to repay. Hong shook his head. We'll have to bear with it for a long time. Luo Feng was clear too. Brolin, that level of status, in the vast Black Dragon Mountain star field, was definitely considered one of the upper echelons. Nan, he's death, we cannot just let it go too. Thunder God sneered, I don't believe the other powers will just watch as Brolin takes control. After all, from the 2 million army, that Brolin only controls a little more than 220,000. When the battles really begin, we'll get him at the crucial time. Hong too smiled. That'll have to wait until the cloud contact vine evolves too. Luo Feng said. The universe ship constantly distanced itself further from the central region, swiftly flying towards the outer rims. Along the way, the news of the appearance of a universe ship in the world within a world was spread as much as possible. In the outer rims of the world within a world, in the vast uneven mountain range, a universe ship appeared in mid-air before vanishing again. In a dark cave within the mountain range. First and second brother, you two help look after our Gu. Luo Feng said. Okay. Hong nodded. Relax. Thunder God smiled. Master, I'm fine. Ao Gu shouted, he had recovered quite a bit from before. Luo Feng glanced at him, smiling as he swiftly flew out of the cave, a few kilometers away. The vegetation and trees on the mountain range had grown for 10 million years, it was thick and lush. Dressed in alloy armor, Luo Feng stood on the soil ground, his eyes sharp like knives as he surveyed his surroundings. Cloud. Luo Feng transmitted his thoughts. Howl, the cloud contact vine happily replied. Luo Feng opened both his hands and immediately vines madly extended out, piercing in all directions. With Luo Feng as the venter, the vines were close to 1 meter thick with lengths that couldn't be seen from end to end, almost like super large snakes that covered both the land and skies were moving about. Simultaneously, those thick and long vines extended smaller vines and even leaves. It covered the land and skies. Chi. Chi, 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 chi. The large number of vines and roots dug straight into the soil, almost like piercing through tofu, swiftly extending deep underground. Every vine grew to 30,000 meters, which was 30 kilometers. A total of 36 vines that were 30 kilometers long. On them were large amounts of smaller vines and leaves, along with lush amounts of roots and networks. In the blink of an eye, the entire mountain region and its surroundings was totally covered with the cloud contact vines and roots. The cloud contact vine's core was Luo Feng, who was dressed in his alloy armor. Right now is the most crucial time. Luo Feng took a deep breath, a large leaf shook in front of him. With a flip of his hand, that almost translucent stone box appeared. He stared at the colors vaguely shimmering from the box, taking a deep breath before opening it. The moment the box was opened, he shook his hand and the thick aromatic life fruit immediately flew up and headed straight for the huge leaf. The leaf fiercely extended upwards, almost like a large mouth, immediately swallowing the life fruit whole. Chi-chi. The huge leaf swiftly retracted and went underground. Such a pity. Babata's voice resounded in Luo Feng's mind. One life fruit. Something even sector lords treasure so much. If used to exchange for universe slaves, we could even exchange for a whole bunch of them. And right now it's given to a cloud contact vine. It is such a pity. 10 birds in the forest cannot compare to one in hand. Babata, this is what you told me. I know what to do, but it is still a pity. It's a waste of a treasure. Babata sighed. Luo Feng was fully concentrated on the cloud contact vine. Babata, how long do we have to wait? Why don't you look for yourself? Babata said indifferently. Immediately, Luo Feng looked at the screen that was projected from his arm. The thick vines began to emit shining green lights that revolve about, and the body itself was almost like a heart, pulsing and expanding and contracting constantly. However, every time it expanded after contracting, it seemed like it would grow by quite a bit. World within a world, Central Region. Allied Army, Black Dragon Mountain Sacred Land Center, within a large tent. Peng. The teacup flew as fast as lightning, violently smashing against the floor and bursting apart with its pieces shattering in all directions, hitting the sides of the tent. Bastards, 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 a bunch of bastards. Brolin stood in the large tent, raging as he roared. I told them to increase their speeds and they grow overconfident. Now, I've only got 2 of the 3 passcodes. Just that one passcode. Without that, there's no way to get the inheritance crystal ball. Stupid. A bunch of idiots. Useless. Brolin cursed madly, without any of his former composure, losing all sense of self. One couldn't blame him, he was from the Black Dragon Mountain Sacred Land, and before his grandfather and other elders, he said he would definitely get the inheritance crystal ball and give it to his grandfather. The 9th Prince Brolin was very clear, In terms of position and status among the other princes, he was special only because his mother's lineage was strong. With his grandfather's blessings, he definitely had to work hard to get the inheritance crystal ball to him. However, who would have thought that when he went to exchange for the second passcode earlier, the living AI, the white-bearded old man would exclaim and say, "Little punk, your luck is good. There's only one passcode left of the 3. If you were a little later, you wouldn't have been able to get this second passcode anymore. Good luck my ass. Good luck my ass." Brolin's expression was pained. Indeed, only with the complete 3 passcodes would one be able to acquire the inheritance crystal ball. Without the other number, the 2 passcodes he had were useless. Puff, puff. Bu Luo Lin's breathing was heavy, his gaze swept past the 2 bodyguards before him. The 2 bodyguards were both on one knee kneeling, not daring to make a sound. "Your Majesty," a silhouette ran in from outside. It was one of Brolin's bodyguards, Camelot. Brolin coldly stared at him. The bodyguard Camelot was shocked, kneeling down and saying respectfully, "Your Majesty, earlier we sent a 1,000-man team to chase and kill that 5-man team. However, we didn't expect him to actually bring a universe ship along with them." "What, a universe ship?" Bu Luo Lin creased his eyebrows. "Right, a universe ship," Camelot said. "The enemy took out a universe ship and escaped." The 2 bodyguards kneeling beside glanced at each other, beyond shocked. There was actually someone who brought a universe ship into the world within a world. That was too unbelievable. Forging a storage space item requires cutting up a space in the universe to make the item. Brolin creased his eyebrows, thinking within, the bigger the space, the harder the actual process of slicing up the space. To be able to store something as huge as a universe ship, this level of storage space item, it said that only the undying beings can create something like that. Every one of them is priced extremely high. Brolin was suspicious, and that 5-man team actually brought a universe ship in. Brolin was very suspicious. This was because with his status as the 9th prince, the last item his grandfather actually got for him was a storage ring, and that could barely fit a universe ship in. Back then his grandfather even very carefully explained the details of such a high-level storage item and its price and worth. They may have gotten lucky, picking it up from some warrior along the way. Brolin didn't overthink it. Give the order. Pass the information of these 5 to the 7 large teams. If anyone discovers them, kill them. Brolin ordered, at the same time his eyes gleaming with severity. These 5 are a small matter. Most important thing now is to find out who managed to get the last passcode. Yes, Your Majesty. The 3 bodyguards knelt down respectfully. My speed was definitely sufficient. I didn't expect some other party to acquire 10 million thunderstones within that short time too. Brolin sat in his chair, his long pale fingers tapped on the arms of the chair. Suddenly his eyes gleamed, ordering, "Give the order, let the 1st, 2nd and 6th team swiftly draw close to the center region, station themselves about 10,000 kilometers around the center region." Yes. The 3 complied, swiftly leaving the tent. Only Brolin was left in the tent. He sat in the chair pondering. As for Luo Feng and his team of 5, Brolin didn't even bother to think twice. In the vast empire of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire territory, there were many examples of people getting lucky and acquiring treasures. What's more, within this Black Dragon Empire region, he even dared to kill the elites from the other groups. There wasn't anyone he couldn't trifle with. If Luo Feng and his team truly had a large background, the word from an absolute fighter would have come down already. To the 9th prince who was so high above others, those 5 weren't a match at all. Vicious, someone actually had the gall to take the inheritance crystal ball passcode from under me. Brolin muttered, "Is it the Holy Sea of Frost? 3 Axe Mountain, 100 Tiger Building, Black Cloud Guild, North Dragon Castle?" Even the families were a probability. Brolin wasn't sure at all just who had taken that last passcode. About 10,000 kilometers from the center region, the grass fields had many explorers gathering. Many had prepared their tents. These tents' materials were similar to the alloy armors, incredibly sturdy. In one of the larger tents, a tall and sturdy, about 3 meters tall black gorilla man sat within. His strong pectorals forced the armor on his body to slightly protrude. His head was almost totally similar to that of a black gorilla, his bulging eyes with a sense of madness. The ape-man race was a large race within the universe. The ape-man could be specifically divided into over 100 races, many of which were brave and valiant soldiers. And him, Chakra, was one of the previous absolute warriors of the 3 Axe Mountain underlings, Sector Lord Tian Chen, a star level 9 warrior. Initially, he was simply one of the countless star level 9 cannon fodder, however now. Chuckle, chuckle. A weird sound resounded from Chakra's throat, his eyes filled with excitement. I never expected to be able to break through. Ha ha ha, this world within a world is indeed my lucky place, the Lady of Luck has chosen to shine down on me. Chakra. Chakra was extremely excited. Yes, he was excited, incomparably excited. That was because he had broken through from the star level 9 to the universe level 1. Back when I was drafted from Wei Qi Star, I had made a vow to definitely become the greatest warrior. All this is really happening, it's happening. Chakra couldn't forget his 3,000-year life. He was forcefully taken from his home ground Wei Qi Star. Going through training, sold, transferred again, finally becoming one of the soldiers under the sector Lord Jiang Tian Chen, finally reaching star level 9 through hard training, just one of many elite soldiers. A long tedious 3,000-year struggle, he was very clear. If he didn't reach the universe level, he would always remain one of the small fries. Star level 9 and universe level. It was just a step difference, however that step was akin to the distance between heaven and earth. I just broke through and became a universe level, and I've already become the main captain of the large team by the sector Lord, and the original captain has become my assistant. What's more, the Lord has even given me 30 life planets as my territory. Haha. I definitely have to acquire 3,000, no, 30,000 women and produce a lot of children. The ape-man Chakra thought excitedly within. Lord. 2 voices resounded from outside. Enter, Chakra said indifferently. 2 silhouettes entered, these 2, one was a star level 2 while the other was star level 3. They were the 2 leading members under another sector Lord from the 3-Axe Mountain. Each leaders of their own teams, however they were usually only star level 2 or 3. That was because they were elites, geniuses. Ironically, the large group of star level 9s were only cannon fodder. That was because the hope of the cannon fodder breaking through to the universe level wasn't large. Didn't expect a stupid ape-man to break through to the universe level. This kind of luck, it's simply a step to heaven. The 2 youths thought within. Lord. The 2 slight bowed, one of the youths smiled. Lord Chakra, I wonder if you've acquired the passcode already. One of the inheritance passcodes, I've already acquired and transferred it via the virtual universe, telling the noble sector Lord. Chakra's voice was bright and clear, however there was a genetic barrier around the entire tent, preventing any sound from escaping. Lord Chakra is indeed formidable. The 2 complimented. Right. Ape-man Chakra nodded, his black nose snorted out warm air. The 2 of your armies should have gathered already, right? Yes, Lord. The 2 bowed. Very well. The ape-man Chakra praised, his eyes gleaming, his aura surging out from his body, causing the 2 youths to feel pressure, as though the end of the world was nigh. The ape-man Chakra suddenly creased his eyebrows. You 2 can go. Chakra waved his hand. Yes. The 2 youths bowed and left. Normally, star level 9s were their bodyguards, however this cannon fodder ape-man actually broke through to the universe level. One had to know that out of the elites and geniuses, even amongst them the chances of breaking through to the universe level was extremely low. In terms of position, they were far below that of this universe level warrior Chakra. If they didn't break through, they would become bodyguards and cannon fodder. The moment they broke through, they would immediately own planets and territories, becoming huge figures. World within a world, there were a total of close to 2 million star level 9s. And even if 10 galaxies of star level 9s combined together, there was hardly 2 million star level 9s. And these star level 9s were all elites picked by the sector lords, domain lords and other strong figures. With sufficient time, out of the 2 million star level 9s, 6 or 7 universe levels breaking through were possible. However, that required sufficient time. Hence in these sort of life or death situations, 1 universe level breaking through out of the 2 million star level 9 army was indeed normal. How much treasure the 9th Prince Brolin exchanged for was a secret. Even the fact that the underling from the 3-Axe Mountain, Chakra, becoming a universe level, was a secret. And at that time, Luo Feng's cloud contact vine evolving, was also a secret. World within a world, outer rims, the vast continuous mountain region. Luo Feng stood within the vegetation, lowering his head to look at his arm screen. On it displayed blood-red vines that were evolving at a rapid rate, almost like boiling water. The vines had already seemed to have become much thicker and stronger, with green leaves popping out from them only to be reabsorbed and disappear. Occasionally, there were several protrusions that simply exploded just like bubbles. Chi-chi. A large amount of vines and thinner vines were madly waving about. Even though it was evolving underground, Luo Feng could still feel the earth shake through its violent movements. Third brother. Third brother. 3 human silhouettes ran over from far. It was Hong, Thunder God, and Algu, who was already capable of walking. Third, it's been over 2 hours, is it not done yet? Thunder God ran over. Right. Luo Feng nodded, take a look. Following which, Luo Feng extended his arm and the screen displayed the scene of the vines evolving. As the cloud contact vine was simply too huge, it was also why Babata could only display a segment of it at a time. Naturally, the only segment being displayed was its core body part, the center. Peculiar indeed. Thunder God stared wide-eyed. Is it shedding? Hong stared wide-eyed, curious. Luo Feng stared too. At the time, the thick vines were undergoing rapid change, with the vines constantly shedding large layers of broken skin, revealing fresher vines within, but with its rapid twisting and movement, it would once again shed and the vines gradually got thicker and longer. Almost as though a tree seed growing into a large tree, but condensed into 2 to 3 hours. After eating the life fruit, evolution that would normally take many years is happening within a short time. Luo Feng said, hence, it's normal for it to be peculiar. Just how big is this cloud contact vine now? Thunder God asked. The scan is unable to check its entire body, however, through deduction, right now one vine's length can already reach about 210 kilometers. Luo Feng said, 210 kilometers. Thunder God and Hong were shocked. Just how long was 210 kilometers? The highways on Earth, some of the shorter ones were only that length, and just one vine from this was that long. And right now the cloud contact vine has a total of 72 main vines. Luo Feng said. Thunder God and Hong imagined 72 main vines that were 210 kilometers long, all wrapped around protecting Luo Feng. That was crazy. Compared to his cloud contact vine, even the golden horned beast from back then was smaller by quite a bit. Luo Feng continued to stare hard at the screen. The evolution persisted. Time passed by the minutes and seconds. Hong and Thunder God too didn't ask any more, just patiently waiting. The vine on the screen gave off a feeling of immense and unlimited power. The original blood-red color of the vines before became even thicker, into an even darker red. Howl! A thought filled with immense elation and devotion transmitted to Luo Feng's mind. The evolution is a success. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Sao su 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 su. Deep underground, the 72 long vines that had reached 300 kilometers each swiftly retracted. As for their thin vines and leaves, they too quickly disappeared. Simultaneously, while the vines retracted, the cloud contact vine headed towards the surface, causing the ground below Luo Feng to tremor, as though an enormous object was about to break through. Rumble. After shrinking 100 times from its original size, the cloud contact vine broke through the surface, still huge as ever. 72 vines shrunk to 3 kilometers each, about 30 centimeters thick, dark red long vines that danced in the night. Simultaneously, the incomparably thick and huge vines wrapped around Luo Feng, shrinking rapidly. Within the blink of an eye, the cloud contact vine that originally covered the lands and skies had swiftly shrunk onto Luo Feng's body and became small and adorable. Its core root entered Luo Feng's skin. 72 little vines as thick as thumb continued to disperse over a 100 meters area, dancing about, forming a dark red armor, helmet and boots on Luo Feng's body. Even Luo Feng's fingers were covered, like gloves. Luo Feng could feel the strength of the cloud contact armor on him. Even if he didn't use much strength, with a punch, just the explosive power of the cloud contact vine was enough to lay waste to a 100 kilometers of Earth, rippling over a 1,000 kilometers further. This level of strength was even stronger than when Luo Feng used the natural strengthening ability of the golden horned beast at star level 9. Third brother. Thunder God cleared his throat, staring at the cloud contact armor on Luo Feng. Just how strong is this vine now? Hong also stared at Luo Feng's cloud contact armor. Obviously the huge aura of the vine contracting had completely stunned him. I'm not too clear myself. Luo Feng smiled. Cloud contact vine. Luo Feng's thoughts moved. Immediately a 2 meters long vine appeared from Luo Feng's body, landing on the ground beside him. Babata, take a scan of this vine. Luo Feng communicated mentally to Babata. The cloud contact vine, as a very special plant life form, was hard to scan for its power level. Usually for humans, scanning their powers with quantum computers or ASH was simple. For beasts, space beasts, etc., these were simple too. Humans and beasts all belonged to the flesh and blood type of living creatures. Plant life, however, were unlike the humans, having miniature planets within, hence, testing was hard. Especially like the cloud contact vine, the moment it shrank and entered a human skin. Like before, when people looked at Luo Feng and tested his strength, they'd only be able to test Luo Feng's strength. No one was able to test the cloud contact vine's strength. This was because the vine was a special life form altogether. Testing the vine's strength. That would require the vine to leave its host and make it release its aura alone. TSK, not bad at all. Babata seemed shocked. How much? Luo Feng asked mentally. The cloud contact vine's level is universe level 2. Babata said, the cloud contact vine is a very strong and durable life form. At the same level and grade, 99.99% of humans aren't a match against one. Yours was cultivated and nurtured well. When it reached the universe level, it developed 72 main vines, and every one of them is akin to a universe level 2 human fighter, with the combined forces of the 72 vines, along with its shocking cell strength. Cutting off a vine and being able to quickly regenerate, universe level 3 humans aren't even a match. A universe level 2 cloud contact vine was much weaker than the same level and grade golden horned beast. The golden horned beast at star level 7 was already capable of easily killing star level 9 humans. The cloud contact vine, relying on its cell strength, 72 main vines, could still put up a fight against universe level 4 humans. After a while, Luo Feng and his group called out the universe ship, placing it deep within a river in the mountain region. Universe ship, control room. Dressed in alloy armor, Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God stood at the control board, looking ahead at the virtual screen before them. Ao Gu was still within the cabin resting. The biggest scan of the world within a world. Luo Feng ordered. Yes, Master, the ship's AI replied respectfully. This ship was considered stock. Babata hadn't made any adjustments to it, hence the ship's AI was still the stock AI provided when they were building the ship. The screen before them immediately displayed the huge scene of the world within a world. Luo Feng, just how wide is this ship's scanning area? Thunder God asked. With the ship as the center, 100,000 kilometers. Luo Feng smiled. That's quite a wide area. Hong nodded. Universe ships all came with their own scanning equipment. If any universe explorer ship was to arrive on a planet, it could definitely in a short amount of time scan the approximate condition of the entire planet. However, these scanning equipment were primitive. It could only give an estimate of the population, whether there were any shocking amounts of energy or abnormalities, etc. As for the planet's minerals, accurate population and strength, etc., it couldn't detect. These scans emphasized the area and size. And Babata's scanning equipment, even though it only had a 20 kilometers area, however, it could scan the planet's mineral construct, human strengths, armor grades, materials, the human's mental aptitudes, etc. All in very specific details. Master, there are 32,169 humans in this area. The ship's AI reported. 32,169 of them. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed, separated into how many teams? One team has 16,300 humans, another has 10,000, another has 5,862, and one team has 7. The ship's AI reported respectfully. At the same time, the virtual screen swiftly split into 4 scenes, each displaying the 4 teams, and the 7-man team was currently being chased by the largest team of 16,300 explorers, split into 3 groups to chase them. It's over, these 7 cannot escape. Thunder God stared. They cannot escape, they've been surrounded. Hong said. Luo Feng sighed. In this world within a world, it was hard for such little teams to survive. The first target will be this 16,300-man team. Luo Feng said. Thunder God looked shocked as he turned around. You have guarantee? Hong asked suspiciously. Yes. Luo Feng nodded. In the vast grass fields. A team of 7 was currently surrounded by many other explorers. We surrender. We surrender, don't kill us. We have thunderstones, we are willing to give our thunderstones. The 7-man team shouted loudly, their faces filled with fear. That was because in all directions, they were surrounded by 3 large teams, each with up to 1,000 and even 3,000 people. How could they escape? Ha ha, surrender. Why should we accept your surrender? The 3 teams were far away before, however in the blink of an eye they closed a few tens of kilometers, forcing the 7-man team in the center into a corner. The 3 teams, one with 3,000 people, laughed as they looked at the small team. This was because they had full guarantee of their victory, hence they didn't rush to kill them. Ha ha, after killing you all, we'll still be able to get your thunderstones. A strong-looking man with black stripes on his face laughed loudly. The people in the 7-man team's faces went pale. Weren't you gathering us before? The captain of the small team, a handsome man with golden gleaming hair, shouted loudly, you said before as long as we were willing to join you all and help you collect thunderstones, with your organization's name at stake, you would guarantee our safety. Ha ha, stupid. That's at the Allied Army base. At the base, it is forbidden to kill. Hence we gathered you. And at the other places in this world within a world, we can kill you directly. Everything of yours belongs to us, including the universe crystals. Poor fools, you've been too greedy. The 3,000-man team surrounded the little team of 7. The 7-man team was completely devastated. Captain. The other 6 looked at the golden-haired man. He could only shake his head painfully, raising it up. I'm begging you, I'll give you our universe crystals, thunderstones, just spare our lives. Still dreaming? So stupid. Poor fools. The 3,000-man team laughed. Stop playing around, kill them. A bald man with a face full of scales shouted. Yes. Shoo, 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 shoo. In the despairing looks of the 7-man team, a rain of spirit weapons shot over, immediately tearing them to shreds. And following which, the 3 teams surrounded the corpses. One member swiftly flew over and took all their treasures. Captain. The member gave the storage rings to the bald-scaled man. Yes. The bald man nodded. Let's return. Among the vast teams, the bald man was just about to check what treasures they got from the storage rings when suddenly, as quick as lightning, little vines suddenly broke through the soil below, swiftly binding the bald man's legs and violently dragging him underground. Crash! A large hole immediately appeared in the ground and the bald-scale man vanished. 2 other vice-captains beside him, who initially had smiling faces and were carefree, suddenly turned to realize the captain that was standing beside them had suddenly vanished and there was a hole in the ground. Hole? The 2 vice-captains stared wide-eyed at the hole. Captain, what's going on? Where's the captain? The 2 vice-captains and surrounding members were all stunned. Under their watch, someone was actually stolen away. The captain is below, no life force, he's dead. A Spirit Reader member shouted, 12 meters underground. Immediately a group of Star Level 9 explorers began digging underground, very quickly finding their captain's body, bringing it back up to the surface. This, my God. The 2 vice-captains and surrounding members all looked shocked at the dead body. His head was burst open, beyond death. The most shocking thing was, one of his fingers was broken off, and it was the one wearing the storage ring. Quickly inform the main captain. The captain has been killed and the storage ring has been taken. And deep underground, a long thin vine swiftly retracted. On it was a leaf, wrapped around the broken finger and storage ring. The vine was even wearing a bracelet, the bracelet that Babata was stored in. Babata let out his scanning radius, swiftly connecting to the universe ship's 100,000 kilometers area signal. Luo Feng, Luo Feng. Received, received. Luo Feng stood within the universe ship. 3 main vines separately killing the 3 captains of the teams. Success. Very good. Continue dealing with that huge team. Luo Feng said. Okay. However, that large team may very likely have detailed scanning equipment. That's what they use to scan for the thunderstones. Those might discover the cloud contact vine. Babata said, if I discover any of these equipment and their signal, I'll stop the hunt. Alright, this hunt, the priority is to not let the other teams discover the cloud contact vine. Guarantee its secrecy. Luo Feng said. Alright, then I'll continue. Babata disconnected the call. This hunt relied heavily on the cloud contact vine with its piercing through the ground, and with Babata instructing it around. With his scanning area and level, it was naturally incomparably clear. With the cloud contact vine's strength, they truly had no fear of any team.